got to have a plan. But here's the most important question. Who in the current organization knows how to develop that plan? Who is the one that you would rely on to create that plan? Like who knows, who would be the expert on going from A state to B state? That's right, nobody, not one person. Well, some people say, well, the collective, everybody. No, that's just putting a bunch of people that don't know with their opinions on how to get there, and now you've got a mess. So understand nobody, and by the way, that includes us. We've helped organizations get from here to there, but for your organization, we don't know what that plan needs to look like either. And that's the problem that most leaders have. We pretend to know what we don't know, which is fine, but then we get rigid or attached to the plan. And so that's what has to change in our thinking. This has to go because we don't know, none of us have the experience to go from A to B. We have to take whatever action we're going to take and then adjust. And it's a process of adjustment until we get there. The key is what happens here. And that's when we generally go into past, into styles, into approaches and opinions to either say we're going too fast or too slow, or we should go back to A, whatever it is. And that's when we get messed up, because we can debate and argue this forever. And trying to get consensus doesn't mean a darn thing, because you're getting consensus on lack of experience. All you can do is make the adjustment. And test it. So what's the key in this approach? If the only thing that you can do to get from A to B is adjust based on experience, the solution is get your experience as fast as possible. The game is movement. Move, 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 move. Instead of wait till everybody's aligned, wait till you have consensus, wait till everybody understands it before they move. No, you can't do it because you're not going to even understand it. You're just going to have to move on it and make the adjustment when you can, and keep moving and keep moving and keep moving. Wait, what happens if it's the wrong movement? Can't be the wrong movement. It's just a movement that then needs adjustment. Have I actually witnessed an organization move in the opposite direction? Yes. Literally opposite to B state. It didn't matter, because once we decided, okay, what'd you learn from that? It actually put them way over here because the learning was so great. I don't care. You can't make a mistake here. All you can do to make a mistake is not move, stay stuck. So the fact is, and we talked about this a little bit, I don't think I gave the statistic on it, or I didn't present it as clearly, is you're going to have plus and minus people. Who do we usually spend more time with is the minuses. Let's get them on board before we move. The problem is, who is going to create this movement? These people. They're certainly not. So if I'm supporting them, if I'm giving my attention to them, I'm not supporting these people by definition. I'm doing exactly the opposite of what I need to do. So we literally ignore them. Ignore. I don't mean that to the extreme. Obviously, if someone has a question or an issue, challenge, we want to hear it. But it depends. When you get challenges here, not all challenges are equal. Either the challenge is moving us towards B state, or the challenge is trying to keep us where we are. Challenges are not created equal. Challenges are, by definition, directional. Is the direction moving us forward and raising a concern? Or is the challenge trying to keep us to maintain where we were? One I'm going to listen to, one I'm going to ignore. Now, here's the startling statistic. You can have as many as little as 20% of your people supportive and 80% of your people negative, or when I say negative, I'm also including skeptical. So it may not be completely negative, but it may be, I'm a wait and seer. Because again, wait and see doesn't help movement. But we've had this level of ratio difference and it still works. May not work as fast, may not be as smooth, all of those things. But why does it work? Is because ultimately the experience that you get from the movement helps to settle the skepticism that might be here. The worry, the fear that everyone's going to lose their job. And all of a sudden you make the change and no one's lost their job. Well, you can't imagine how many changes I have had to make in an organization where the fear was everyone's going to lose their job or people are going to lose jobs, when in fact that wasn't the case. So the catch is that. The other thing is that once you get to this point here and you pivot creates trust. Because now it demonstrates commitment even though it didn't go perfectly. And how many times have we worked for somebody that had a great idea, had a lot of emotional commitment, but as soon as it didn't show up as well as it was intended, they gave it up and went back to state A. So who wants to put their effort behind that? Commitment is the key. And commitment doesn't get demonstrated until you have to course correct, until you have to pivot. By the time you get out here, even when the numbers started at 20/80, it's now 90/10. With one exception, is that if you allow these people to stay in long enough and try and appease them, then what you're giving up is your commitment to B state. Because then what happens is, instead of it looking like going here to there, here, if I'm trying to appease this group and I'm trying to appease the positives, then what it looks like is doing this. Oh, today I'm going to make you happy. Then no, I'm going to make you happy. Now I'm going to make you happy. No, I'm going to make you happy. And it goes nowhere. And what it shows up to everybody else is we're not really committed to B state. We're committed to here. And now I give up. So those are the essential parts of understanding the system. We're not here to get it perfect. What I always tell people around B state is don't implement it perfectly, just implement it and you'll be successful. We don't care. You don't have to get it right. Whereas if you look at 4 disciplines of execution by Covey and those guys, you have to follow their process and it gets very detailed and you got to do everything right. No, we don't want you to do that. You got to follow what you set up and you got to be willing to adjust it. But you don't have to do it perfectly. Do it poor, do it inconsistently. We don't care. Just do it and you'll be successful. And that's why we get guaranteed results. Because it's based on how humans work, not based on the perfection of a process.